Lane,
What up?
Joanne, Martin, what's up?
Happy Saturday.
Hello, everyone.
What's up?
What's up, everybody? How's the weekend going?
It's going great. Thank you for asking, John.
Not
oh
you.
my God.
Let me
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah. Cheers.
cheers.
And with that, let's go to our next segment. I don't have a specific one. I'm actually, if you guys don't mind, going to dedicate this one to my dad because he had triple bypass surgery this week. So,
Cheers to Dad.
surprise shots, surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise.
I'm a little worried about what you selected, so I'm just going to follow this with a chaser.
I think it's got
I want to know.
It's like Bailey's or something.
No. Cheers. Do we have all chat on?
Oh, wow. What was that?
I tried not to make it too bad. It was the salted caramel crown.
Was that straight?
Yeah. Can we see, like,
one
I
has
feel
a-
like they haven't responded to anything we've been saying.
They're bored. No, I'm just kidding.
Probably. You got to talk to them, Jen. Say hey to one.
I have been talking to them.
Say hey to me.
What's
Tell
up,
me I
Lane?
look nice.
Joanne, Martin. This is one of your stories today.
One of Martin's stories?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going back to a case today.
You want to do
changed your
H.H.
mind.
Holmes.
I do want to
know.
do H.H. Holmes. I do.
And I have that story. I just
Thank you, Joanne.
don't feel it today. I had to get a Martin request in there because I'm telling you.
Martin does request some good stories.
Yeah, I don't know how you find these, my friend.
Hey, Shram.
All right, this is where we're going to tonight. This is Russia. This is in Elk Island. Well, it's not really an island.
Yeah,
but-
that doesn't look like an island. Even I know that.
Yeah.
I'm not even in third place geography, B1.
This is near Moscow. Moscow's right there.
Uh-huh.
Huge. Moscow's huge. Holy shit.
That's a big city.
So we are going to 1989. It was snowing. But I want to tell you that there is a...
This is back in this is Soviet Union, not just Russia.
Yeah.
This is Soviet Union days.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question without being judged? I know the answer is no, but may I please ask anyway?
Sure.
Was
This is a judge zone. I'm just going to let you
I'm
know.
not gonna
Everyone
ask it.
judges here. I'll just ask the question.
no, because I just realized that it wasn't even related to Russia. It kind of was, but
What
it
is
wasn't.
it? Just say it.
What year did the wall come down?
That's not a bad question. It was like 89.
I thought it was 89.
It's like 1989.
In the
Yeah, it was like 19. Is it 1989?
1989.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys are correct. Look at you. But the official dissolution of the Soviet Union was 1991.
The year that I was born. You're welcome.
There you go. It was all because of Jenny Collins.
So we are going to Russia tonight, but for this story, most of the crimes start off by meeting the victim or blindsiding the victim. They start off at a bus stop. Now, I did a little bit of research on this. There's a metro style bus service in Russia around Moscow, kind of like we have one here. It's like the transit buses, but there's
Yeah.
this whole
City bus.
city bus, yeah, stuff like that. But they label theirs by the bus stop. So if you say, instead of here, hey, can you drop me off at Carter Street? You would say, can you drop me off at 11 kilometer or, 148 kilometer?
Oh, so they do this. They do the stops by the distance from the.
Yeah, exactly.
station?
Which is
Okay.
really smart, actually. Now, yeah, so the bus only goes in one big circle. So I know our buses probably don't do that.
That's kind of like in Kansas City, though. They have free transportation. It goes you get on at, I think it's a train station, but you get on and it goes one way and one way back.
Yeah, and you can get on little other services that take you in the city or whatever. But this one's it just circulates the whole city.
So this is the free one, and it's just your
It's the free
your
one.
intro into the.
Yeah, so if you want to get, you might have to take another form of transportation if you get dropped off at 150 kilometer.
But it brings you to the main points of the city.
Yeah. So all of these tonight are going to be happening there. This guy is going bus to bus type of thing, and he's traveling sort of a distance. Now, keep in mind, during this time, we also covered another guy in Russia, serial killer. His name was Sergei Golovkin. He was known as the Fisher. This guy was a horse trainer. I don't know if you remember. He was a horse trainer. He was living at the the summer camps and he was abducting boys.
Oh, yes.
It was real gruesome.
I remember that.
I do remember that.
The photos, I think
Different than the Mr. Hand story, but still horses.
yeah.
No, I think one of the photos that was really terrible was he blowtorched this kid's face while he was alive. And you can see, I mean, it's bad. That's terrible. Anyway, that was also happening at the same time. And Golovkin killed a lot of people, and so did this guy, because you have the USSR falling, you have all this stuff going on. So there's a lot of killers that kind of, racked up their point system because everyone else is busy doing other shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So these guys basically ran free. It's kind of like in America, the 80s, the serial killers, like the Ramirez's and stuff like that.
Yeah, but also the 70s were bad too. Yeah. And the 90s. I mean, it's just a bad time always when you think about it.
No, not the 90s, man. The 90s was the best.
Some good times.
Because it was so hopeful for this new future, like technology and computers were now a thing. The internet was like 1996.
But you also had like OJ and Rodney King and...
Yeah, but you always had those race problems, Rodney King, yeah. But I mean, it was just like, and the music was so much better too, man. Great. Now it's just all like
mumble rap.
This is where we're going to tonight. You can actually see. So it's basically in this forest right here, and there's a pretty cool picture down here. Let's see if I can get to it. It's really pretty down here.
That is really pretty.
Except for this hoe over here that I caught lurking in this tree.
He is lurking.
I think it's a chick. I think she's hiding because she knows she just boned this dude.
She did not expect Google to be out this day.
She just boned this dude. This is what I think about when I do the stories. I'm like, who the fuck are you? What's in that bag? Drugs? All right. So tonight, that was the last time. Tonight we're starting January 2nd, 1989. We're starting in the Losiny Ostrov district. That specific area is known as Elk Island, huge forest. It was snowing because it's January and Russia just snows all the time for some damn reason. So it was snowing. What do you do if there's a lot of snow and you're a kid? You
make snow angels.
Snowman.
Yeah. Or you
sled. Snowballs.
Well, a 16-year-old kid, what would he do? Would he sled?
He'd probably write his name and piss in the snow.
Okay. Well, he was out skiing.
Oh, yeah,
this
that
day.
too.
He was taking a break from pissing in the snow, and he was skiing. Teenager. This isn't like a public park, a ski resort like we have over here. This is literally just out in the forest.
We don't have that in South Carolina.
What I'm talking about.
You mean in the United States. Gotcha. Sorry.
But
stop interrupting.
In this forest, there is a lot of snow and a lot of slopes, but there's also no one around except for when there is someone around. And the man that this teenager ran into, literally, he was coming down the slope and ran into this man is pretty tall, pretty wide. He's 6'6", a beast of a guy, and a teenager with skis wasn't looking where he was going and just ran right into this guy's ankle.
This sounds like the Gwyneth Paltrow case.
The what? The Gwyneth Paltrow case?
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow and the guy that skied into her.
I do not recall.
Was it recently?
Yeah, it was like a couple of years ago. It got settled.
You know what? I do kind of. She's on Stranger Things.
No.
Oh, no. I don't know who you're talking about.
She was in Shallow Hal. She also runs Goop, that magazine. It's like a crunchy magazine.
Crunchy?
Yeah.
Sounds good. This boy, Vladimir Satsev, a 16-year-old teenager, just ran into this man, 6'6" guy, and if he would have known how hot-tempered and angry this man could get, this boy Vladimir would have apologized for running into his ankle. But yet he did not, and the boy kept skiing as if nothing had happened. Now, there's only so far you can ski before a guy running at you catches up with you, and that is what happened. He was going down the slope, so this guy follows him, running straight after him because this teenager didn't apologize, and that's rude. And
Yeah.
this guy's very hot-tempered, too. This is Vladimir right here. The reason this case is so hard to do is because the brutality of it. This boy right here who you're seeing, nice-looking kid, he probably made a mistake. He didn't apologize, that's for sure, and he tried to run away. And this is what he ended up looking like after. This is very graphic, so you can tell me what type of killer would do this to somebody.
Oh, no.
Here's a close-up of his face.
Oh, poor guy. Oh, my God, he's a teenager.
We said that like 6 times.
I know, but
It brings it to life.
Oh, you can tell he's a teenager by looking at the photo?
No, I was saying, like, because you mentioned that he was a teenager, I was saying this poor kid.
Gotcha. That's him right there.
Oh, he did not deserve that.
I know, right? I mean, dude, that's terrible. I mean, he's still frozen to death, too. You can see one more time.
Was he was buried in the snow?
No, he wasn't buried. It goes a little deeper than that. We'll just say that.
So he was buried.
No, he was found out in the open.
Okay.
This teenager, Vladimir Zaitsev, was in such a terrible condition. One Russian source that I saw said, quote, the dead boy was found by his father.
Ugh.
From horror and grief, the father turned gray overnight. This boy had been anally raped and stabbed through his anus with his ski pole.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
Which I don't think you can see on the photo.
I don't need to see that.
Because it's black and white, but from his anus, wherever it went, through and through, there was his ski pole.
Oh,
This is
so there was
brutal.
no exit. There was no exit wound from the ski pole.
I didn't see that information, like where it came out, or even if it did come out. I'm just judging by the photo.
Right.
You know.
Ugh, that's so. Ugh, there's no need for that. Why would you do that to a kid?
But even looking at his face, you can see that his eyes are completely swollen shut. Like he got beat, brutalized extremely bad. And there's a scarf around his neck, which supposedly was used to capture the boy. Oh my God, did you see that guy in New York City with a belt?
No.
Oh my God, that was so terrible. There was a guy in New York City, he was caught. We did this on headlines, and the video's there, but he has a belt and he just walks up behind a woman and just lassos it around her neck and just pulls her behind a car and rapes her.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was nuts, man.
That's like today when I was driving. It's definitely not the same. I'm not comparing this just to make sure. But like I saw a crime today too. I saw someone steal something when I was in my car.
Did somebody see you steal something, Jen?
No, I saw someone steal something.
What'd they steal?
I was in my car at a stoplight and there was an accident that was ahead, and this guy was walking down the street and there was an open house sign and it had a smiley face balloon, and
He stole a balloon?
He stole the balloon. He literally was walking down the street. At first I thought he got caught on the balloon, but he put his arm out and then he grabbed it and then he took it and he kept walking with it. And I mean, if the police officers that were there were not busy with like an actual incident, I almost was like, hey, this guy stole that balloon.
Fucker.
You should have totally said that.
But I
would like to report a crime.
I was like, he just stole that balloon. It was I was like, well, maybe he has a reason. Like maybe he's taking it to his kid. Like you never know.
Maybe he's like, fuck, I need to feel tough.
I don't know. Like he literally, I saw it happen from like he was walking down the street, and I wasn't really paying attention to him when he was walking because he was just a guy walking. And then I saw the sign, and I thought he got caught in the sign, but he didn't. He hit his arm and then he grabbed it and he was like, bah, and he kept walking with it. And he didn't let it go. I thought he was just gonna be like, I took your balloon, haha, and let it go. But no, he like took it. So he was probably taking it to someone. But like, yeah, I saw a guy steal a balloon today.
That's unfortunate.
And it's not like, anyone's going to be able to press charges for stealing a balloon that you get at the dollar store. It's like, excuse me, someone, it's going to be like one of those things when you go to take the open house sign down. It's like, oh, someone stole our balloon. But like, I saw it happen.
I think it would be different. It wasn't, all right, what if it wasn't an open house, but like, I know my mind's fucked up. Okay, I know my mind's totally fucked up. But what if it was like a gathering for a kid suffering from leukemia or something,
Yeah.
Get well, Bobby, with his picture all over the place like that. I think that's a different level.
Oh yeah, but this one just said open house. The sign just said open house. It was,
thank God.
Sorry, I don't know why I associated that with the crime that you just shared with me, but it was similar, kind of, because he lassoed his hand around that string and was just like pop, and he took it and he kept walking.
Still not entirely sure what we're talking about now. Just kidding.
He was talking, well, first he was talking about the kid that got his ass reamed with a ski pole. And then he was talking about the headline that you read the other day about the woman that was lassoed by a belt in New York and raped, which is very terrible. That's terrible. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to compare.
No, you're fine.
But it was something. I did see a crime today. Theft is a crime. It's a crime.
No, dude. I mean, what if it was his open house, though? And he's just like, no one came to this open house. I'm mad.
He was walking from he was walking for 2 blocks and then he kept walking past. It wasn't like he went to take the sign up and took the balloon. He was just a pedestrian.
All right, so let me show you a little video. It's not really a video. I mean, it is a video. It's all in Russian. But I just want to show you a video of this guy we're talking about tonight. He's got a couple of monikers. One that I like is the Hippopotamus.
Oh, okay.
So he's the hippopotamus killer. Hippopotamus.
I was thinking that too.
Christmas.
Only hippopotamus will do. I don't want dolls. I don't want Tinker Toys. I want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy. I can see me now on Christmas morning, racing down the stairs. And
all right, Jen. Okay, we get it. All right, this is the guy right here. He's the guy on the left, the tall guy, and he's 6'6".
Дочь. Несмотря на то, что тело первой жертвы маньяка нашли быстро, противником, убийца не оставил ни
He kind of
следов
looks like a
за
hippopotamus.
А Ryakhovsky тем временем вернулся к охоте на
No.
пенсионерок.
Is he moving his mouth? I can't see.
I don't
That looks like the Ghostbusters car.
It does.
Sorry, I'm on a different level today. This is what happens when I come to the house already 2 beers in.
I feel ya. I had 3 sparkling rosés.
Do you want the last? Does anyone want the last IPA?
You can have a last IPA.
Are you sure? You like the wheat beer? I'll drink a wheat beer if anyone wants it.
I'm equally as satisfied with wheat beer.
Tonight we're talking about Sergei Vasilievich Ryakhovsky.
How do you spell that? He's going to say
Jen.
Fuckyou.
He is also known as the Balashikha Ripper because that's where he's from, Balashikha in Russia.
Hi, Jacob.
He's
Bye,
also-
Jacob. Why are you leaving?
Hi, bye. He's also known as the hippopotamus. If I was a rapper, I'd be called Hippopotamus. Yo, my name is Hippopotamus. What rhymes with that?
My book is about Artemis Fowl. He likes to run out on the prowl. He likes to come out and likes to fuck the cows. I don't know what I'm singing
What?
today, but it is the
That's bestiality.
11th of May. We are on Talk Murder
Okay.
to Me.
All right. That was good.
That was actually really good,
Except for the
Jen.
bestiality.
That was really good. I'm sorry. How many times have you discussed bestiality in normal course of conversation?
My TikTok name is Mr. Bestiality. I have to freaking discuss that shit.
That was great, Jen. Good for you.
Thank you.
That was great.
That was that's something off of my bucket list. I never thought that I'd be able to freestyle rap.
See, if we can do the Northern Lights tonight, I'm telling you, we're gonna knock off 2 things in one day.
That is one interesting bucket list.
You're one interesting bucket list.
All right, here's who we're talking about tonight. I've already showed you, but this is him, Sergei the hippopotamus, and that's who we're talking about tonight. But we're going to get into it. This gets pretty bad. So I'm going to go through his background just real quick. He grew up in Balashikha in Russia. That's why he's known as that killer. 1962. He weighed 11 kilograms, which is 25 pounds at about 6 months. He was so big as a baby, and the doctors, for whatever reason, I didn't see anything about his family at all. But for whatever reason, his doctors did not perform a C-section. And he was huge. He came out, the normal baby's what? I don't know, 8 pounds or some shit.
7.
Like he came out 17 and in 6
Big
months he
baby.
was 25 pounds and they didn't perform a C-section. So he came out with brain damage because of his head it could barely get out of the waterway.
No, that's not what it's called. I did see a photo of the centimeters with a kid's head on the 10 centimeters, and I'm like, at least I don't have to worry about that.
So the brain damage is interesting to know about this case because a lot of killers supposedly have some kind of brain injury, and he was born with it because he could barely get out of the mother. He was so big and massive. That brain damage, most people would attribute to his slow learning, his poor health. He was born with asthma and pneumonia, both together. And the illnesses just started deteriorating him from a child. Brain damage, slow learner, never learned to read, write. Although, and really interesting fact I'll tell you about, he is what would be considered, like I said, a slow learner, disabled.
Learning disability.
However, during his reign of killing, who they think he killed 19, during all of this, in the middle of it, he writes a novel, a science fiction novel, which is kind of weird. Now, I couldn't find the actual novel. I'm just going to read what this says because it's kind of crazy.
In addition to hunting people, Ryakhovsky had another hobby. He wrote the science fiction story Starfall, where he talked about the everyday life of the Grand Commander, the liquidator of all kinds of space rabble, such as pirates and bandits of all stripes. Their commander burned them with flamethrowers or flew them into outer space. Ryakhovsky managed to write 3 versions of his main work, but due to his very limited mental abilities, he did not finish any of them. However, for the author, this was not the main thing. Most of Ryakhovsky's like to describe the executions carried out by the Grand Commander.
So that's going to become important because this guy thinks he is that commander. And you saw the brutality of just the first one. And it gets a lot worse from here. A lot worse. So when he was 3 years old, speaking problems, he actually just started speaking at 3. Brag. He was a loner. He loved animals, which is not in the McDonald triad. He is a serial killer. But he cried for weeks when his kitten died. I saw both kitten and parrot. I'm thinking kitten is probably more accurate, but
Well, you never know.
However, he was extremely hot-tempered and just brutal, as you already saw. He was so hot-tempered, if this tells you anything at all, his girlfriend growing up, which wasn't really his girlfriend, just a platonic friend, as it's going to turn out.
It's like if I was saying, like, my girlfriend Nicole, meaning, like, my friend that's a girl, Nicole.
Well, he wanted to date her, but she didn't want to.
Oh, so it was an unrequited love thing, I feel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
However, she goes on record after he gets arrested finally and says when they were teenagers, they would hang out, but she would refuse to be alone with him in deserted places.
So she, like, felt weird about him.
Not weird, just he's got such a hot temper. Just anything can flip this guy's switch, and he's just brutal. I mean, at 16, he's already a huge guy. He's already over 6 feet. He's already fighting at the bus stops and train stops. He's looking for fights almost.
Did anyone, like, want to enroll him in sports? Because I feel like a large guy like that would have been a great hockey, football, or basketball player.
Yeah, no, I thought of that too. That would have, I mean, I guess it's just opportunity, you know, if he was, he dropped out of middle school because he's a slow learner. But, like, that's allowed in Russia? I guess it was the 80s, which is a different time, but, like, that's allowed. And it's also not the same as the United States, but, like, you're allowed to just decide when you're in middle school that you don't want to go to school anymore. I guess.
That's kind of young to give them, like, all right, we're dropping out. Bye. Like,
I mean, I don't know. Bye. I mean, I guess it used to be that like this here a long time ago.
Yeah, I know, but
because when I did that story, that Bath school story in Michigan.
Yeah, I remember
when was that.
I don't remember.
When was it? Like, no, what
it was
year?
Was it was like the 20s, wasn't it?
So it was like the 20s. But remember, I did the story, and like literally that school was like the first revamp of public education. So before that, like no one went to school. Kids just stayed on the farm. So like whatever time that was, I think it was 1920.
Yeah, but by 1989, there was like things in place. And I know it's not the United States. I know it's Russia, which is different. But like, I wonder what their labor laws were like if they had things against hiring children to work at that age. But he was at the size of an adult. I don't know. It's different.
I don't think I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Honestly, not a lot is known about his family, except that I'm all right. Except that it was a very large family. So
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Natasha.
Hey, Natasha.
His own girlfriend refused to go to deserted places with him.
But she wasn't his girlfriend.
Well, he thought this would be the only girl he is ever close to. But in 1982, so when he's 19, right when this girl, whoever this girl was.
Same girl, different girl.
No, it's the same girl. It was kind of like his Jenny.
Like Forrest Gump.
Exactly. She gets pregnant with someone else's child and he doesn't believe it. And then they just break contact type of thing. Or, she stops taking his calls. Anyway.
But like, I have a question. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. But like in Forrest Gump, like the viewer believes it is Forrest's child though.
Yeah.
It's so like, is it his child, do you think? Or is it not his child? According to Jenny.
Who thinks it's his child?
Me.
Okay.
Who the fuck's child would it be?
She is an HORE.
WHORE.
Okay. She is like going around singing naked.
Oh my God. You were the
She
only
is such
person.
a slut. Are you serious? She's banging everybody.
You are the only person in America who thinks it's not Forrest's child.
She is a...
You better think twice before you say that word.
I do have to say that is an interesting perspective though. Like I always believed it was Forrest's child because I'm naive.
I never thought it wouldn't be anything other than that.
Right, but think about it. Like think of all the things that she's done. Like
She's a hoe.
Forrest is her safe place, right? So like she knew that he would raise him because if she said it was his, he would believe it was hers.
The kid looks just like him though.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Maury. Thanks, Maury. Thank you, Maury.
It's totally his son.
The kid looks
You're
just like
ruining
him.
everything.
No.
She had AIDS. He was his son.
Be funny if it.
We are the worst human beings ever. I just gotta say, you should if we should stop doing this.
Welcome to the last episode of Talk Murder to Me.
I didn't realize people thought that was his son.
Of course, yes.
She literally saes in the movie.
In the movie.
No, she does. She says he's really smart or something. So he looked something just like his daddy, and he goes,
"He's really smart."
Just
well, that takes him right out of the equation.
she tells Forrest that it's his child, not mine.
Keep trying.
All right. So he was telling himself that she was eventually going to date him, and apparently she had a kid that was not his.
Oh, that's not going to be good for her.
And around this time, 1982, he was 19. He started, and he would say this, he started experiencing, quote, an irresistible desire for intimacy with a woman. So March to November 1982, 10 attacks, all attempted rapes, from what I've seen, just attempted in the village of Golanova. All 10 were on elderly women, which is crazy.
That's terrible.
Well, it's terrible, but he wanted intimacy with a woman, so he's going to, find elderly women.
But
which
that's
is nuts.
He know that sex does not equal intimacy. That's not the same thing. I mean, you can be like, sex is intimacy, but you don't have to have sex to be intimate with someone.
But think about the
sex
first...
is intimacy, but intimacy is not sex.
Correct. But it's not mutually exclusive.
But think about the very first murder I started with, which was actually the fourth.
Jacob.
Whether the kids came out in their legs.
Lieutenant Diane.
Hey, that guy invested in Apple.
You know what? Like, he is one of the greatest philanthropists for veterans
Gary
out
Sinise?
there. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, really?
He is amazing. Yes.
Hey,
he is a huge proponent.
Do you know
for
my
veterans.
cousin was in Forrest Gump?
No.
Yeah, he was.
What?
Really?
Yes, he was the.
Why is this the first? This is one of my favorite films of all time. Why am I hearing about this now?
He was. I'll have to show you which one, I can't remember, but the redhead children that threw the stones.
Oh wait, maybe you did tell us this, that he was when we was like, "Run, Forrest, run!"
Yeah, he wasn't the one that said that, but he was.
No,
one of
Jenny
those
said
kids.
that.
Oh, Jenny said that. Yeah, he was one of those. The first
was throwing
kids.
the rocks.
Yeah, the throwing the rocks in the pickup truck. That was his part. I mean, it's pretty cool part.
That's awesome.
Awesome. I mean, it was filmed in Savannah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I guess so.
Savannah and is it Beaufort or Beaufort? It was also filmed.
Beaufort is where that UFO thing got burned down yesterday. or a
what's
couple
the
days ago.
difference? Yesterday.
But there's
Do you know
there's a Beaufort in North Carolina and Beaufort.
Do you
South
remember
Carolina.
the UFO Welcome Center in Bowman, South Carolina?
No, Beaufort.
North Carolina?
You're talking Beaufort is not
Beaufort.
a freaking
Beaufort. But
There's
saying
one in North
Beaufort?
Carolina and one in South Carolina.
But Beaufort is Beaufort is South Carolina. And
there's Beaufort, North
There's
Carolina.
not a Beaufort. That anyway, how do
Yes,
you
there
spell the
is.
Beaufort?
It's spelled the same as Beaufort,
but it's not.
Then it's Beaufort.
but it's North
not-
Carolina, not South Carolina.
So it's still called Beaufort. There's a Lexington here and a Lexington in Kentucky. They're spelled the same. They sound the same.
But if you're talking about your bow, it's Beau, like Bew. But you don't call it your Bew. You call it your bow.
Anyway,
And that's
What the
Beaufort.
fuck are y'all
a
talking
lot
about? Is
was also filmed in Beaufort.
Beaufort. Jesus Christ.
Beaufort.
Well, the Notebook was filmed in Mount Pleasant, so and at
That's
Cypress,
true.
and at Cypress Gardens in Monk's Corner.
That's true. And I think we need to get a little rowboat for John so that he
Why?
can row
So I can row
in
the
the
fuck out
little
of here.
rowboat with Luna, just like Noah.
I'm rowing the fuck out of here.
He can take Luna in the little rowboat. That's what he wants to do.
Y'all never see me again.
John and Luna off on their little romantic adventure.
On the pond next door.
So this is weird. If you think about the very first murder I talked about with the ski accident and the ski pole, that kid, I mean, this was opportunist, of course, because the kid ran into him and he got upset. But if you remember, I said that kid was found anally raped. So is he homosexual? Because now he's now he's raping elderly women. Or was that just
That
more
was
of
in
a dominance?
1982, though. This is 1989 with the skis.
Okay, so between March and November 1982, 10 attacks and attempted rapes of elderly women. He was known as a gerontophile.
Oh, that means that he's into older women.
Yeah, gerontophilia means old man.
Weird.
In Greek and it says love is a disorder of sexual desire which is characterized by a painful sexual craving for the elderly.
Isn't the Greek festival this weekend? I think it got moved to this
Is
weekend.
it?
Also, I was thinking when I first heard that word, and I did put it in the Discord, is like the chick who's dating Leonardo DiCaprio, is she a gerontophile?
No, because he's not elderly.
He's like 55 and she's 19.
But he's not elderly, though. Like,
That's an age difference.
No, but
he doesn't date anyone under 25. We all know this.
Yeah.
I mean,
And does it give him
Leo.
Is it like the fountain of youth? Because he still looks really young.
Does he?
There's
kind
a
of.
lot of weird shit happening
All right.
in Hollywood. I don't have time to go into, but
The gerontophiles, the actual disorder, there is no age defined. That's what the official thing says.
is it just
But it does
dating
say
someone that's
elderly.
older than you?
No, it does say
I just said
elderly.
elderly.
Anyway, so between not even a year, this 6 months, March to November 1982, 10 attempted rapes and no murders. He was arrested for the first time, caught red-handed doing this. He had captured a prey, an elderly woman, and on all of these, he would take both their rubles and their pension checks, which I guess, and that happens a lot in Russia with these serial killers. They take these pension checks. I guess there's no verifications like we have over here. Like you can't just steal someone's check. You got to present an ID. You can't just be cashing people's checks.
Right.
But that's what he did, and the Volga Maniac, they were still pension checks. Anyway, he was arrested for the first time November 24th, 1982. The official charge was hooliganism.
Huh. I didn't know that you could be charged for being a hooligan.
Well, so during this time, a lot of resources were pushed towards the USSR. So people got real light sentences. This guy got out in 6 years. He figured out in 6 years that he needed to kill the victims this time, so he doesn't end up back in here. In prison, he was raped because rapists are looked down on in prison, what they call the zone there in this part of Russia.
So sad that he got raped. That's terrible. For he attempted to rape all these people, so it's really sad that he got raped himself.
The former prisoner began to consider homosexuals as as second-class citizens and decided to clear the planet of them. The maniac believed that after death, representatives of sexual minorities would go through reincarnation to become normal.
That's kind of crazy. And it also ties in with his science fiction belief. Now, this guy has the mind of a kid. He's got a learning disability. He doesn't know how to comprehend things. He can't even finish sentences. So this is what he's thinking right now. It's very science fiction, which that was what really communicated with him. This is a science fiction thing. Anyway, he attempted to rape 10 elderly women. He gets in prison. He is raped himself. And then he says that I'm going to go and I'm going to kill every homosexual I can. And this is going to pure the world because when they go through death and reincarnate, they'll be, quote, normal. That's what he thought. The first day he got out of jail, obviously rehabilitated, he found himself on the 11th kilometer Moscow Ring Road. That's the bus terminal that goes all the way around. For free. He was there around 9 p.m. A lot of these murders are going to happen around this time. A woman was waiting on the bus, and he stabbed her with a penknife, grabbed her bag and her pocketbook, and ran. Now, these are so, like, off the wall. Like, the MO for this guy is just everywhere. Like, there's no exact one. He's attacking elderly. He's attacking kids with ski poles. He's now attacking, just regular adults. And now a 20-year-old girl he had beat nearly to death for reasons completely unknown. He just didn't like her and just beat the shit out of her. Didn't rape her or anything. June 19th, he was in Bitsa when a 41-year-old Anatoly Vilkin he had met the previous day at that same bus stop. And they kind of connected because, as you'll see, I don't know if you've already started seeing, but this guy is a closeted homosexual, even though his job in life now is to clear homosexuals.
According to him.
According to him. He's like, Jeffrey Dahmer type of thing. They will never admit it.
So it's like he hated them because that's what he is, and there was a negative stereotype to being homosexual, and he hates the fact that he is one, so he's just going to clear the world of homosexuals. I
don't know if they hate it. I guess so. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant, but I think some people that are closeted, they know, and then maybe some people that, like, it's fucking obvious to everyone, but, like, they won't admit it type of thing, or
I feel like
they don't know.
Well, yeah, but I think that, and you can't speak for everyone. It's impossible to speak for everyone, and who am I to even try to speak for everyone? But I feel like in the stories that are similar to this, like, it sounds like he has this disdain for the population because it's not socially acceptable, but he is one, and he can't accept that about himself.
But I don't think so does that mean he doesn't know?
If you're closeted, it doesn't mean that you don't know. It just means that you're not public with it.
No, I get it. But so for, like, John Wayne Gacy, he would talk so much shit about, gay people. He would use the word queer and the F word, stuff like that, all the time, talking about how he hates them. But all of his victims were literally boys that he raped. Yeah. But yet he hates gay people. It's the same shit. Like, he doesn't want to admit it, or he just doesn't know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like if you are seeking that population to attack, you have some sort of knowledge to yourself. I feel like that is, like, I can't speak for them. Obviously, I'm not someone that goes out and attacks homosexuals, and that I can't get into their heads. But, like, if you attack someone like that, it's a difference between, like, this guy is, like, anally raping and, like is complicit in homosexual acts. Like, for him to say that he's not, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for it. I don't know. It sounds to me that he knows it and hates that about himself and is attacking that population because he hates it, and he hates that he is part of it because it's not accepted.
All right. So June 19th, this is right after he gets out of prison. He's at a bus stop. He meets this guy named Anatoly Vilkin, 41, and I'll show you his photo here in a second. They exchanged a plan to meet at the same bus stop the next day and perform sexual acts on each other. More importantly, he, Sergei, the killer, is going to be one performing the acts, and the other man, Anatoly Vilkin, 41, is going to be the one receiving. And that's very important to him because, and this is from the psychology of this guy, from like this Russian student who wrote this thing. So, I mean, I don't know this guy's credentials, but he said that Anatoly, the victim on this occasion, agreed to a passive role, quote, on the basis the killer, Sergei, considered Vilkin a faggot, that's what it says, but did not consider himself one, end quote. That's what it says. So, like, as long as he's going to do it to him. Now, he agreed, and this is for money, so Sergei was going to get paid to do this to him, to the victim. So right there, he knew he was going to engage in this activity. However, he considered that guy gay and not himself because he's the one giving it. You know what I'm saying? And
so it's like almost he can remove himself from it because it's like, it's not like I'm enjoying this. I'm just doing this for money type of thing.
Yeah. And this is really important because all the victims that are male, and there's about half and half, all of the victims that are male, he specifically says he's trying to cleanse the planet of homosexuals. Like it's very specific.
Okay.
Yet he's engaging in this thing. Yeah, he's killing them, but it's not like someone just going and killing a bunch of homosexuals. He's also doing sex acts on them.
That's the thing is like, is he killing them before the sex acts or after the sex acts?
He's killing them during, and then he even performs sex acts after.
I mean, it sounds like you might be homosexual to me, but who am I? I am just someone that was not even alive at this time.
This guy, Anatoly Vilkin, he's 41. He's got a family. He's got a wife and a daughter. In fact, the next day, which he won't make, obviously, he was supposed to meet his grandson for the first time. So this is different because his whole family doesn't know he's gay. And this is known by Sergei because of the way he positioned his body. So this is the photo right here, trigger warning.
But this also kind of goes into his gerontophilia.
Well, hold on. The way he positioned the body, this is it right here, trigger warning. This is kind of bad. But as you see, this man, who his family had no idea was gay, is stripped naked, and he is draped across this little birch tree right here in a sexual position. It's obvious. He knew that this man's family did not know and that he had a family. So he did this on purpose. He put him this way after he killed him. And I don't know if you can see how he killed him. It's hard to see, but there is some blood here. He was stabbed up to 14 times in the back with a screwdriver. And then I guess he got hit in the heart or something. But that's him. That's pretty bad.
It would be one thing if he said that he was cleansing the planet of the homosexual population, if he lured these people in and killed them and then didn't perform these acts. But like for him to go through with it, I feel like that's different.
But for him, I'm thinking, because all of these, he does it almost like he's a bully. He's very hot-tempered. And in other cultures, that's like, you don't do it because you're gay. You do it to show that you're the big guy. It's like in prison, right? Like, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind that, but that's just me. I don't know.
While walking a safe distance into the forest with Anatoly leading, Sergei pulled out an old rusted screwdriver and stabbed him in the back repeatedly. He stripped the man and then placed this man across a stump in an obscene position, signifying to his family, kind of a last FU, that he was homosexual. The family didn't know, so now not only their dad and their father and their husband are now dead, but hey, guess what? They were gay the whole time. You know what I'm saying? This guy's MO is sort of all over the place. He would use improvised objects where he went. You'll see once he uses like an axe. You'll see another time he uses a woman's comb. Whatever he can find, it was almost like a game to him. Whatever they have, let me see if I can get it from them and use it against them. There was no clear thinking to any of the murders. Going back to the ski pole incident, the body was found right where it had been murdered, but yet the skis, one of them was found like 500 meters to the left, the other one was found like 800 meters to the right. So, like, what was he doing? Is he throwing away evidence? It doesn't make any sense. He's just going to leave his dead body right here and try to throw away the skis. They did find a fingerprint on one of the skis that matched his, though. But it's just kind of weird. Like, what is this guy thinking? His crimes were chaotic and brutal and would often attack his victims from behind when they didn't even know. For example, on July 4th, in the Podolsky district, he attacked a 70-year-old Kladiva Koklova. He attacked her from behind and then struck her in the chest 14 times with a screwdriver. She actually survived, and she went to testify what she just experienced. She was literally dying in the hospital. They were asking her, what does he look like? They know he's a big guy because of the conditions of the body.
Right.
But they don't know what he looks like. Anyway, she would die the next day of her wounds. It says, quote, soon detectives arrived at the hospital. They hoped for valuable testimony after the victim came to her senses. But as it turned out, the woman did not see the attacker's face at all. The doctors were unable to save her, and she died a few days later. He's not a good criminal. He would leave fingerprints on literally everything. That ski that he dropped. There was also his own private comb that he dropped at the crime scene after he killed a 58-year-old woman, and this was 1989. He would often use weapons that the victim had. He would disarm them and use the weapons against them. Sometimes he would even have really bizarre moments and leave extremely bizarre crime scenes, like the 1993 murder of a man, 73 years old, named Ostapov. He was armed with an axe at the time, and this man lived in the forest away from everyone. He was actually chopping dead wood. This man, 73 years old, was disarmed, strangled. He was raped, and his head and arm were removed with the axe, cut off. And this is actually, trigger warning, this is the guy's head. You can see it almost looks like it's kind of been ripped off or something. So this is the 73-year-old man that he just randomly came across chopping wood. This guy wasn't homosexual or anything. It's just really random. And for some reason, he takes this guy's head off and he takes this guy's arms off, or his one arm. He takes this guy's arm off. He chunks him in the woods and then just leaves. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. Why was he doing that? Was he trying to dismember this guy for evidence? Like, why just cut off the head and the arm?
Right.
Like, there's no reason to that. The next day, the man comes back. Sergei comes back, not even 24 hours later, and hacks off the victim's leg using the same axe for no reason. Like, why would he do this? He just comes back for no reason. He would say that he had a dream, and this guy's psyche so messed up, who knows what that dream told him to do. But
Right.
He came back not even 24 hours later and hacked off the victim's leg and just left it there for no reason whatsoever. He just did it. All right. So what do you guys think about this guy so far? It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
right?
he is something else, man. Like, I don't even know.
Despite Sergei being the worst killer, the hippopotamus killer, the worst as in depravity and clumsiness of leaving all the evidence behind, he started to feel invincible, just like Sergei Golovkin that we did, who was killing kids at the camps, the summer camps, which he was a horse trainer at. He was so brazen, he even built a dungeon in the horse stable. It's because the USSR was crumbling and there were no resources to go after people like this. So they would get away with murder after murder, and they would start to feel invincible. That's what Sergei started to feel. And he started to really come into his work. He started to want to have fun with it. He already likes what he's doing. He's killed about 10 so far. And he wants to kind of have more fun with it. He's not worried about cops. Obviously, all right. it's one thing for like the Sergei Golovkin guy not to get caught. Like that's just like, come on, seriously. But this man is 6'6". Everyone knows they're looking for an extremely large killer.
This guy is a real goofball. He can possess.
The psychology is kind of crazy though.
Yeah.
And anyway, this guy is 6'6". Everyone knows that he's a big dude. Everybody knows that. And I mean, there are other tall people, but it is not a big neighborhood. He's literally in the same 4 villages doing this. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he may not be from the village, but like you see a tall guy at a bus stop, maybe this guy is the killer. I don't know. But he started to feel that invincibility and he wanted to start having fun. And this is really important because now he's just like, fuck, I can do what I want. This is fun. Let's just try to have fun with the victims and see what we can do. Let's see what we can create here. Let's see, you know, I'm not good at writing, but let me see if I can leave messages, you know, to the detectives that don't even care about this anyway.
It's so funny that I mean, I know that's not a direct quote, but like, let's see what I can create. It's like destruction is the opposite of creation. He's not creating anything. He's destructing human life.
Yeah. So he starts to feel invincible. And on the next episode, we're going to get more into this, but we're going to actually start on March 9th, 1993. Just one random occasion, he decides to do something fun. There's going to be other really unique things he does that are fun to him. But on March 9th, 1993, he was really excited. He knew he was going to meet somebody. He didn't know who, male or female. He does end up meeting a female. And, you know, which is fine with him. He met this woman passing him on the trail. This woman was a 55-year-old, an Olga Shahiku, 55 years old. And she passed him. He kind of backtracks. He takes a scarf, throws it around her neck, not really worrying about if she's screaming because no one's out there. No one's out there. Kind of like that
belt you were talking about earlier in New York.
Yeah. No one's out there in the forest. So, you know, whatever. I can take my time, do what I want. At this time, he pulls out something that he brought from his apartment with him. He knew he wanted to have a good time. When you think of excitement and, you know, just feeling good, sometimes you think of like fireworks and firecrackers. So Sergei pulls out a firecracker from his pocket. It was one of these firecrackers here. Mm-hmm. These are like the M60s in America. These are their version. This woman, and we don't have a picture of her, or at least before what this happened, but she was unlucky enough to be there. He pulls her back with the scarf, takes her to a little private dwelling he has set up, and takes out this firecracker. She is screaming her head off. He doesn't really care. No one's out there. No one's going to hear her. He takes a lighter from his other pocket, and at this point, she is stripped naked. She's stripped naked in front of him. It's his canvas. He can do what he wants. And like Jen said, he's more of a destroyer of worlds and not a creator of one. So he's looking at his canvas, who is not tied down or anything, just beaten pretty bad where she can't hardly walk. He's looking at this canvas and he lights this firecracker and he looks her up and down and tries to find the perfect place to put this firecracker. And he's got, 18 seconds before this fuse goes down and hits that gunpowder. And guess where he puts it? He puts it inside of her vagina.
That's terrible.
And he is a destroyer. So imagine what that is going to do to a human body and how far he can push it up there.
No, I don't want to think that.
So that's why I want to do like a 2-parter on this, because this one's kind of like effed, right? Like reading about this shit kind of got, it's not good for my mental health. But I'm going to stop it there. So we're going to start on that. Now, I want to say this one is really unique because, that was when he admitted he's going to have fun with the next ones. But they also found something in a nearby barn.
This is a very unique place.
I hate having different parts.
I know.
Dude, I know, but I couldn't, dude.
I know.
Like, my mental health is important, man. Like, this is a lot.
No, you know what? I'm glad that you said that out loud. Like, mental health is important.
Like I just like spent hours and hours like with this shit. It's like a little too much.
I have a friend. No. But you know what? Like I have a friend who's going through something right now, and you know, there's a lot of noise out there, but like you wouldn't criticize someone for taking time off if they had cancer, right? No.
Yeah, I would. I was kidding.
No, but like mental health. No, I'm serious. Like you need to take care of your mental health. Like if you can't function, like just because it's not like you have an arm cut off or like you have a cold, like mental health is just as important as physical health. So take care of you. Like you're the only you that we have. So if you need to take time to take care of your brain and take care of your mental health,
You talking to me specifically?
I'm talking to
everyone.
I'm talking to everyone because I have a friend out there who's going through it right now, and like you don't know, maybe not know all the details. You never know. Like, you could be walking past someone on the street who is dealing with it. You don't know, so you got to take care of you. Like you have to take care of yourself. You know,
yeah, that's true.
It's important.
So what they found around this area was more disturbing than the woman's body with a firecracker in it. They found an old barn with a noose hanging up. I thought I had a picture of the noose. I have like of this, but they found the noose still hanging up. And this was one of the last murders, so he's caught pretty quick after this. But the thinking was, and he eventually admitted this, he really thought about having this fun time with these victims, whether they're male, female, homosexual, or straight. And that was the first thing he was going to do is, you know, because he wanted to see someone swing from a noose. So we're going to get to all of that on the next one. I know it's 2-parters. You guys hate that shit. But at the same time, like I put like I want to like get the details, you know?
Right. Yeah. So, you want to get it right. Get it right. Get it right. Get it tight.
Anyway, what do you guys think?
That was a very unique story, for sure. And I don't want a hippopotamus for Christmas anymore.
It's very unique. The eunuch maker.
I missed that one.
Well, I can pull it up right now for you.
No, I'm good.
No, I can. Jacob, do you want her to see the eunuch maker?
I think you should give her a taste in some way. Like, not taste in that way. But
what the fuck? Why would you say that? Give her a taste of what? My severed testicles?
Nope. I want zero part of that.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry it wasn't H.H. Holmes enough for you.
We'll do more of that some other time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll be back, I guess, tomorrow. More headlines. So, sweet. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Kind of run this shit.